Yesterday, there was contact between the Directors General of Military Operations of Pakistan and India. And regarding the request they made, they were told, "Brother, please make this request through your guarantors and submit it in writing." And let me tell you that in this conflict, Turkey is acting as Pakistan's guarantor, while Saudi Arabia is acting as India's guarantor. India said, "Please tell Pakistan to withdraw its troops." So this message was conveyed to Saudi Arabia, and then Saudi Arabia relayed it to Turkey saying, "Mr. Erdogan, they are requesting that the boys pull back a bit. Is that all right?" This means that we have not yet withdrawn from there, and all my friends and acquaintances who are reporting that Pakistan has withdrawn are mistaken. There has been no withdrawal. All right then. So Saudi Arabia has been told that Pakistan is present inside India at various locations, from the line of control, LOC, all the way to the Bahawalpur sector. That is, the Pakistani forces were not only inside the LOC but also on the working boundary, meaning on top of Sialkot, on the Sialkot border. And besides that, Narawal. Now look, in Narawal, our boys had crossed the Ravi and gone to the other side, and they were about to capture the area, the very place where the registry or entry to the Gurdwara happens. They were about to take control of that spot when the ceasefire orders came through. At that time, the largest number of our troops stationed on the border were sitting on the Narawal sector because victory was almost within their grasp. You could say it was less than a kilometer away. You know this Gurdwara, right? The one where Indians come, where Sikh devotees visit. And there's another important point. The Sikhs who come here, they come to bow their heads in reverence. This is located in Narawal, and just a few kilometers away on the Indian side, there are barbed wire fences on both sides. So they travel 2.5, or even 3 kilometers to reach this Gurdwara. Okay? Now, at the place where the Indians enter and are then sent through this corridor, those were the very spots that were about to be captured. At that time, I was told they were only 700 meters away, just about 3/4 of a kilometer left. That's all that was left, and they were advancing, almost about to reach the spot, just a step away from stopping right there. So they're really angry. Whenever they get the chance, they beat up the Indians there. And India has requested, saying, "Please change your soldiers." Yes, this request also came from the Narawal area. "Please replace your soldiers because they're beating up our soldiers." All right, so right now there are daily clashes happening in Narawal, and every day they beat them up because the soldiers stationed there are extremely angry. The idea is for Pakistan to return for meaningful negotiations so that a meeting can take place between Ajit Doval and General Asim Malik for talks. This written request was made by India to Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia then approached Turkey, saying, "Sir, they are asking." But Turkey, for their part, didn't even consult us. They simply rejected it themselves. They said, "Tell them that if they are talking about withdrawing from certain posts, then write down the names of those posts. Write down the name of the specific place from which they are talking about withdrawing. Let them specify that we have already fled, even abandoning our own Kalima temple. State this clearly in writing, all right? And also specify how many kilometers of territory are currently under the control of the Pakistan Army from which you want to withdraw. Write that down as well, okay? Then have the responsible authorities officially sign this document. What this will essentially be is a surrender document admitting that we have lost. Pakistan will then show this trophy to the world saying, "Look, the Indian Army and its responsible authorities along with their so-called nuclear patrons have signed this." So the Turks didn't even ask us. We only found out about it later and we had no idea. They said, "If you want to ask, you shouldn't make an enemy out of us. If you want to keep your head held high, then don't get humiliated." So Turkey gave this response to Saudi Arabia, saying that the document must have the signature of an authorized person on it. Then they said, "We will request this from Pakistan." This is the reply Turkey gave to Saudi Arabia, and Saudi Arabia sent it back, and Turkey told us, quietly inside, "Ask for forgiveness. They want you to apologize publicly." All right. So when Saudi Arabia took the next step and contacted India about this matter, India said, "Give us some time, we'll think about it and get back to you." The Turks said, "We're in no hurry." We're in no hurry, meaning Pakistan. We're in no rush. Take your time and let us know after thinking it over. During this whole period, Pakistan was told, "We're in no hurry." The Directors General of Military Operations of both countries will stay in contact with each other, and there will be a gradual extension of the temporary ceasefire. That's all for now. We'll be back in the next episode. May Allah bless you with ease and grant you the ability to share that ease with others. Amen.